Well, Pezza, this is it. This really is it. What am I talking about? I'm talking about South Africa absolutely dominating Australia many, many times in recent events. But in my head, in my life, South Africa, semi-final, Australia, semi-final. I have so much joy and hope in my heart because I know what's going to happen. Thoughts?
Well, my understanding is the Cyclone's going to win this game. So I don't know if that's what you had.
Congratulations, Greta Thunberg, for... The Great Cricketer is brought to you by cricket.com. You can download the cricket.com app from the App Store. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel, cricket.com/TV, for everything you've ever needed in this life and perhaps the next couple of lives, which Australia have earned in this World Cup by being 0-2 at the beginning, then winning 7 games in a row. Obviously, South Africa had a great start to the tournament, dominating everyone, then lost to the Netherlands, lost heavily to India as well. And now I'm thinking, are they still the second best team? The answer is yes, because they finished second on the table. And the table doesn't lie.
People are going to say that Australia psychologically are prepared perfectly for this game. 7 wins on the bounce, building momentum, big boys scoring big runs, the spinners on song. South Africa, on the other hand, fading a little bit. Started well. Its cricket hasn't been as good. Now, I don't think any of that analysis is quite right. But and I actually think South Africa matches up really well to Australia. I think de Kock is steadfast. I think he's ready. I think Bavuma leads them well. I think the middle order, Van der Dussen, obviously top order, Van der Dussen, Markram, Klaassen, Miller have taken Zampa down. He's going to need to step up the Lux. I think Australia is going to need to play its best game of the World Cup to win. I think it's been getting by Australia on the performances of a few individuals, which is okay. But I'm also very bored of that analysis because it's not really in the national contract to speak that way about Australia-South Africa matches. It's far better, like Damien Fleming has been doing, to say we should chirp them about history. Now, and I agree. And who am I to... Well, he was there. I was saying to you off air today that... if the equivalent today was correct, where we chirped them about 1999, if we did that in 1999, we'd be referring to a game in 1975.
Right.
So it really was quite a long time ago, but I was alive for it. I saw it.
Now, you're referring to, for those that don't know, the game where Damien Fleming is bowling to Lance Klusener, who crunches him for 2 fours in a row. They need 1 run to win. He hits, Fleming executes a perfect wide Yorker. Klusener hits the ball down to Markwar at long off, who just runs and flicks it without looking. Alan Donald forgets how to run at the non-striker's end. He flicks it to Fleming, who then underarms the ball to Adam Gilchrist. Then pandemonium. It was so exciting that Steve Waugh actually smiled. That's how excited.
I got 2 things I want to say about that.
Please.
Right? That excellent summary. Looking down the barrel here, can you let us know in the comments if you legitimately have not heard of that game before? Because I want to know how old I am. That's honestly what I mean. Like, is it like this is just a real fact of getting old that people genuinely don't know these things? Because to me, it's like that's canon. Like, that's literally in the Australian citizenship test, which we have to take every year. That's a different issue. The second thing is unpopular opinion about that little moment in time, going against the grain of everything everyone said about this guy and my hero, is that Mark Waugh really should have hit the stumps with that. It's one of the biggest. It could be one of the biggest misses of a run out under pressure that has ever happened.
He absolutely kissed on the dick.
Kissed on the dick, and yet even though he missed this clutch run out from like 2 meters away, he still made it look so fucking good. It looked amazing. It still looks so beautiful. It's like the girl.
Oh, Junior, give it to me.
Give it to me again, Junior. You are the girl that did not have to try hard.
He didn't need to wear makeup, Mark Waugh, just naturally beautiful.
And that's the best thing I can say. He honestly is my hero.
So I think all the players that are playing, like that'd be like in the earliest memories kind of thing, 24 years ago. Some of the guys are sort of early 30s, late 20s. So you're looking like very early memories. And so
formative, if you will.
And I will.
Yeah.
So how deep that runs through the bloodline, you know, for both of these sets of players. Does Temba Bavuma thinking at the toss, like, what's the fucking point of playing this game? Because I remember when Mark Waugh was kissed on the dick, you know, does Marcus Stoinis, if he's playing in this game, you know, does he think, I know what's going to happen?
I know what's going to happen
was kissed on the dick.
Because Junior was kissed on the cock.
Now, now we're recording this 2 days before the game, before the cyclone happens in Calcutta.
Oh, yeah.
So the main conversation at this point of time is who's going to play. It's between Marcus Stoinis and Marcus Aurelius and also Manus Labuskakni. So, I mean, there's just an argument for both sides, isn't there? I mean, I don't think there's a clear...
Anyone that tells you that there isn't is smugly oversimplifying to, I guess, compensate for their own lack of intellect.
So who's going to play?
Yeah, Stoinis. I think, interesting the way these teams match up as well. Like, in recent history... Like one team either wins by 1,000 runs or it's really close, which suggests to me that they both like to play on the front foot deluxe. Yes. Like they both want to just absolutely put the foot on the throat, boa constrictor the life out of the other team, and that tends to do the job. Looking at Stoinis versus Manus, I guess like my sense is that it will be a huge... Like if Australia plays Stoinis, they will be showing respect to South Africa and essentially and conceding that they probably need to play nearing their best game to win this. Because to my mind, as much as Manus has just been a sensation in this ODI side and such resilience to be missing the 18 initially before the World Cup even started, and then to have played every game and contributed at something like averaging 50.
Yeah, it's like 17 games in a row or something like that.
Before you get to his fielding, it really speaks to his resilience and his quality as a cricketer to keep getting selected from that position. But to my mind, if you need runs from Manus Labuskakni, something's gone wrong in the side. Yeah. And I wonder if you get to that point against South Africa, then it's gone anyway. Like if Australia just completely rolls the dice, plays Stoinis and goes, we need him for the bowling because there's only 4 front liners without him. You're going to have to get overs out of Maxwell, Marsh, Travis Head. Maybe you will in Kolkata because it rags. And maybe you're going to need his power hitting, though it's been a bit hit and miss. But on the other hand, I don't know how you can go past a player that has performed so admirably and saved the side on so many occasions with just such wholehearted displays with the bat and in the field. It's amazing that it's the first time in the tournament that Australia has had a full squad available to pick from. As you say, like I really feel for whomever misses out in that game because there really are arguments for both. I really feel like at the start of the tournament, and it's quite obvious, there's no big revelation here, that like Stoinis is in Australia's best side. I think Australia feels like their ceiling with the best game they can play is higher with Marcus Stoinis in there. Yep. But Manus has just been such great insurance in the team that perhaps they feel like he deserves the nod.
I think that's very good analysis, and I also think that Alex Carey should come in for both of them. Just because of the left-hander.
Yeah. Just to mix up the right hand, left hand sort of stuff.
Well, I would just do the thing.
Stuff?
I would do the thing that South Africa are least expecting.
Yeah, okay.
And that's bring back Ashton Agar.
Yeah, that's right. And Matthew Hayden.
Yeah, bring back Matthew Hayden in a Pika Kubra and a broom. Just think about this World Cup and from the South African perspective, it seems like, and it's just felt like that they have put together real team performances. Yep. Like there's obviously been highlights of Klaasen's innings to Cox hundreds. Marco Janssen's been fantastic. Bavuma's led the side well. He's also scored some runs. Maharaj and Shamsi have contributed without being outstanding. I feel like same thing with Rabada, but it feels like as a team unit they have played collectively better than Australia's sheer chest of someone will do something amazing today. Yeah. And on each of their 7 wins, I can't think of an actual clean team performance. I just think about like these outstanding individual man of the match, player of the match performances from Zampa, Maxwell, Marsh, Warner,
Head.
Travis Head, yeah. So again, in similar ways that we were talking before about our preview of the India-New Zealand game, in the top 4 run scorers for New Zealand, if they are to win that game, feels like someone in the top 4 needs to do something big, and that's just the way it goes for Australia as well to take down the bowling unit of South Africa. I feel like it's going to be the top 4.
When South Africa played India in Kolkata, which is where this game is, India really sat on Maharaj.
Yes.
They ended up like because they're just in such scintillating form. Like it was probably the safest India's batted in a game. They still ended up with 300 plus, I'm pretty sure. But they sat on Maharaj, who went for 30 off his 10 overs or something like that. Yeah. So like you could be looking at a lower scoring game. It's a sort of, I don't know whether that question lends itself more to playing Stoinis or Labuschagne, but I would have thought probably Labuschagne, really, given he has superior skills through the middle overs if Australia needs it.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that sort of bulk power game from Australia is the right matchup for this particular situation. But so to your point, South Africa look comprehensive across the park. I think all of the sober analysis suggests that South Africa probably slightly ahead of Australia in how complete their team is, but that's where it's our contractual obligation to point out that none of that happens in these games. This happens in between the years.
The thing about the rain being there as well, obviously in 1990.
This is obvious what you're about to say.
When that was the Duckworth Lewis game where South Africa were playing against England, who obviously made the final.
Yeah.
The Duckworth Lewis fucked them and they needed 23 off one ball in the end there. So with rain being around, it just feels like there's another chance here for South Africa to have South Africa to them.
I got a question for you on that. Like now we're talking narratives with this sort of stuff. So you're like, is there a redemption arc for South Africa who also suffered at the hands of rain, in semi-finals in World Cup?
Another one's 2003 against Sri Lanka when Mark Boucher hits a 60. They think they're in front of the Duckworth Lewis. He then blocks the next ball.
Yeah, well, that's Matt
one more run.
Shit. We're talking about this with New Zealand in the preview.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody understands that the ODI format will cease to exist after this World Cup, and if you believe that it won't, then please wake up.
What if we just change a couple of things?
Yeah, let's make it 40 overs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you think that it's fitting that should this be the last serious ODI World Cup or whatever the fuck, that like South Africa wins it, to kind of, I guess, close the loop or resolve everything that had, built up to that point? Or is it funnier and better that South Africa once again fails at the final hurdle?
Whilst India has their own story about the rising power, their moments, this is their time,
everyone
economically,
over,
politically, everything about it. I still think that the two best stories winning the World Cup would be either New Zealand or South Africa.
Or Australia, for sure. Just six sounds good.
I do think
it's the number of balls in an over.
I do think most people want Australia to win the World Cup.
I get that impression online as well. I get the impression people really enjoy Australia being here and like there and thereabouts at the end of the World Cup. They like it. They're a popular team. Good memories. Really good cricket. They love listening to two white guys in Melbourne giggling about whether we might be able to win. Everyone else is playing for actual destiny and like something to live by. I can honestly say if I wake up in the morning after Australia's won the World Cup, I'll be happy for the guys. I'm going to go and take my kids to daycare. And I won't think about it that much, but I'll feel something. It's just arrogant.
Once again, Australia's woken up just about to a semi-final. Just flick it on. I don't even know what channel.
That's right. This is how I'm going to watch the World Cup final.
Yeah.
As you said.
Here's how most of Australia will watch the World Cup final.
I'll just be reading Twitter, getting upset at morons writing on it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how I watch it.
Well, that's once again our perfect review, a preview
of the game.
We already know what's going to happen. Yeah, but it'd be devastating if this game was washed out for all involved. Although again, South Africa, it's a great story. Same with New Zealand, but we all know what's going to happen. Everyone's playing for second here. So that's what's going to happen. See you guys real soon.
Sign us up.